won the battle with lust in the chambers of my imagination, and compromised perhaps with some of my holiest and highest standards internally. And I'm glad for a revival of holiness in my life and of love. I want to love all my people and love everybody. The channels are clear. Then God's done something in our home, and I'm going to do a very bold and daring thing now. I want Helen to come up and share with you what God's done in her heart. Because we've got a new home, and I want to tell you about it.
David's told me many times, someday, young, you're going to have the blessing, and someday you're going to have this victory in your life. I don't know when it's going to be, but I know that you're going to have it someday. And I just thank him this morning that he's given me this wonderful victory after so many years of a heart that's been dried up. I thank him for his steadfast love this morning.
And while she was sharing, people, they didn't walk down the aisles to the altar. They were actually those sitting near the front who came over the benches.
The thing that has characterized this moving of God's Spirit from the beginning is the freedom to seek God. I believe there are 100 adults in this audience that want to be down here getting in. And I don't think you ought to wait any longer. I believe there are teachers. I believe there are businessmen. I believe there are some of us in the administration. God didn't intend it for the students alone.
Revival at the Asbury College. It started with a spontaneous note last Tuesday morning at 10 o'clock, and here at almost 11:30 on Sunday, it's still going.
There were only about 35 or 40 people there, and at least 15 or 20 or more were down at the altar. I couldn't believe it. I says, Lord, is this happening through me? I says, thank you for this, because I knew it was him working and not me.
And a few of us testified, and an invitation was given, and as far as I know, out of 30 or 40 youth, everyone committed his life to the Lord.
We shared our testimony, sang a couple invitation hymns, nothing much happened. Then during the offering, the pianist and the organist were playing, they were taking the offering, people just began to stand up, walk down the aisles. I couldn't believe it, during the offering. They filled the front of the church, they filled the aisles, they filled the center aisle, which is real wide, about halfway to the back of the church. People just step out of their seat and fall in the aisle.
We wouldn't have had to say one thing this morning. The Lord was so real. We walked in, they started singing a song, there were tears in eyes. Kids were really wanting a revival.
Many dedications have been made. Many songs have been sung. Many nights, as late as 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning, 300 and 400 youngsters have assembled at Hughes Auditorium on Asbury's campus. Just how long it will go, no one knows, but actually they say it will never end, because the revival and the inspiration that these students have obtained the past week will live forever.
Many people who hear the story of the Asbury Revival, since it is so different from anything that they have ever experienced, tend to feel that there was something unreal about it. As for those of us that were involved in it and had the privilege of experiencing it, we found that it was the most real thing that we had ever known. God had come to us. God had given himself to us, and he is the supreme reality. When he comes, it is amazing how he clears our perspective. We saw him in a way that we had never seen him before. And so the only response we knew that was appropriate was a response like that you find in the book of Revelation, chapters 4 and 5, when the 24 elders and the cherubim bow down before God in his holiness. We saw ourselves in a way that was more profound than we had ever seen ourselves before. It is very easy for us to think that